Okay, it is live now. Let me pull up my quiz really quick. All right. By the way, if any of you feels strongly about starting these Google Hangouts, I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't mean to like take over. I wanted to learn how to do it. And now that I know how to do it, I'm happy to pass the torch if anybody feels strongly about it.
I tried once, and just as I was about to invite everybody, you started once. I'm like, oh,
okay, okay. Well, like I said, I do not mean to hog the starting.
Don't mind at all.
I just wanted to learn how to do it so that I, in the future.
Good.
Okay. All right. Anybody want to take number 3? Okay, then I will. We all 3 did. L first. Okay.
Go ahead.
Julius, you want to take it?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
Great.
Number 3. So the symbol for the true population proportion is which of the following? So it's P.
The third one, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes, please.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I'll go next.
Okay.
For the next 2 questions, suppose n equals 100, 0.25, and p hat equals 0.10. Question 4, the requirements for constructing a confidence interval are satisfied. I put true.
I did too.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll take 5. The requirements for conducting a hypothesis test are satisfied. I put that as also true.
Yes.
Me too.
And the difference between those, it's the same equation except for the p. It's either p hat for the confidence interval or just p for the hypothesis test, correct?
That's what I gathered. Okay. Is that correct? Is that your understanding as well, Meredith and Julius?
I think so.
Okay. So that's what I have in my notes. And so
I'm just clarifying.
Me too, because I didn't notice that actually while I was taking notes, and so until I was doing one of the assignments, and then I was like, whoa, didn't even notice there was a difference.
Right.
So
okay,
important.
All right, I'll do number 6.
Okay.
And this is after it says a study of first-degree murder trials was conducted, and it says it was over 60 people and 45 of them were found guilty. So it says find p hat. It was 0.75.
Yes. Do we need to say the extra 0 just because you said around to 3 decimals? I don't think so, but
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I always put it on there, but when you look at your results at the end, when it tells you what you put, it drops the 0. So I don't think.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. I know it's the same number, so it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Just never know. Not worth risking sometimes. Okay, Julius, number 7.
With number 7, I had a challenge with it, so I couldn't get it.
Okay.
I can do 8 and 9.
Okay, Meredith, do you want to take 7 then, maybe?
Sure. Determine the margin of error for this 95% confidence interval, and I did it both ways to make sure I had the right answer, where I just took the upper and lower and subtracted them, and and then I also figured it out by hand because I might as well. Right. So I got that the margin of error is 0.110.
That's what I got. That's what I got.
Okay, and so you did that because we rounded up, correct?
Yeah, the actual margin of error is 0.10956671.
Right.
Yeah.
I was wondering how I was gonna. Okay, just making sure I rounded right.
Yeah, I know. I get nervous rounding it up when you have
when it leaves you 0.
Yeah.
So Julius, do you know that formula for the margin of error?
The other time you talked about it. That is the lower bound plus the maximum bound together. That is plus. So that would mean 0.64 plus 0.86.
Are you moving? Oh, you're moving. I'm just asking you if you knew how to do the margin of error for 7, since you said you didn't have that one.
Yeah, I think the other you told me that you add the upper and the lower together and you divide it by 2.
Yeah. But there's also that formula where you take your z-score and multiply it by the square root of p times 1 minus p over n.
But I
So,
think, but
because if you don't have your confidence interval yet, you'll have to figure that out by hand.
Yeah. I did it
You
by
said-
the formula. I was too nervous to try the other way, and I didn't even realize that I could at first. But I'm glad to know that that's a way to kind of double check it.
Yeah.
But at least when I did what you taught me the other time, I had 0.66. That is when I add the 0.64 plus 0.886 together, divided by 2, I had 0.66.
No.
You would have,
If they're the same sign, you have to subtract.
right, so you'd have to subtract, you'd have to put
Subtract.
0.84 minus 0.64. You have to find out what the difference is or how much space on a number line is between the two, correct?
Yeah. And then divide that by 2.
Yeah,
So, okay.
that's how I
Okay.
visualize it. That's really helpful.
Okay. So it's rather minus 0.8
Well-
minus 0.64.
If you picture it on a number, the interval on a number line and see how much
Yeah.
space is in between the two and then divide that by 2, that might be the
Okay.
best way. Because if you just say minus that or subtract or
Yeah,
add,
you don't always subtract.
exactly. Because if you have a negative number and a positive number, there's a lot of space in between. So you need to know exactly how much space is in between the upper and the lower and then divide that by 2.
Okay. So meaning the lower. So question number 8.
Uh-huh.
They said they input the lower bound. So you say 0.64.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Correct.
And then
And then the upper bound is somewhere around 0.86.
Correct.
Yep.
actually I had 0.84. I'm not, oh, sorry, it is 0.86, but I had written or typed in 0.84. I'm glad I caught that one because it's written down correctly, just not in the.
So is it 0.84 or 0.86? I had 0.86.
0.86. You're right. You're right. Okay. Should we move on? Do you feel comfortable? Everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's my turn. Number 10, if you increase the sample size from 60 to 80, what do you expect to happen to the width of the confidence interval? So if you decrease the width, it would decrease the width of the confidence interval if you increase the sample size.
Correct. All right, question 11. To conduct a hypothesis test for one proportion, 2 requirements must be met. Suppose P equals 1/2. What is the smallest n can be for both requirements still be met? It's 20.
Yes.
Okay, I think it's your turn, Julius, on number 12.
Okay, number 12. To conduct a hypothesis test for one proportion, 2 requirements must be met. Suppose P is equals to 1/10. What is the smallest n can be, and both requirements still be met? The small n would now be 100.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, hold on. I put 12. Is that, I mean, that 100 was for the one side. Let me just see. What is the smallest n could be? Okay, I understand why you would put 100, and you're probably right. But if you do the second requirement,
Mm-hmm.
I got 12. Is that?
For the second one, I have 11.11111.
Right, and
You
I
have to
rounded
round
it
it
up
to 12?
because.
But you
Uh-huh.
have to take the larger of the 2 numbers. You do both formulas and take the larger one.
Right.
Okay.
Well, And in all the examples, they only, like, they pretty much tested the first one and used what they got in the first one for the answer.
So will that first one always be larger?
I don't know. I just noticed that's what they always used. So I just plugged in whatever number, anyways. So that's what I've been plugging in for my answers, and I've been getting them correct.
Hmm.
But it could be they're always the larger ones.
Okay, now I'm processing. I get why it has to be 100. Okay.
Did you get it?
Yes. Yeah, I had
Okay.
100, for the first. I just understand now why I have to have. Okay. Who just went? Julius just went, so I think it's Meredith. Or
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, I'm
Meredith.
Hold on one second. I'm just
Yeah.
experimenting with something. No, because if your P was 9/10, you get just the opposite. Your first equation, you get 11.0111, and your second one would be 100. So you have to do both. It won't always be the first one giving you the right answer. So, okay. 13. I'm not going to read it all. The conditions for conducting a hypothesis test are satisfied. I put true.
I did too.
Correct.
Okay.
Is it my turn? I don't even know.
I wrote it down this time. It's my turn, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
I just wrote down our order because we always get confused. 14, not that it matters. Question 14. What is p hat? I put 0.475.
Yep.
It is Jody's turn.
Okay. Find the test statistic. It's negative 2.82.
2.282.
I have negative 2.2.
Negative 2.82.
Okay, I have negative 2.282. I'm just going to look.
Oh, you're right.
Me
You're
too.
right.
Yeah, it's easy to miss.
I didn't put it incorrectly.
Yeah. Yeah, I just looked it up on my little Excel calculator.
Mm-hmm.
And that looks like it's
So
right.
is it Julia's turn?
Yes, it is your turn. Number
Okay.
16.
What is the p-value of this test? That is 0.011.
Yes,
Correct.
what I got.
I don't think that was wrong. I forgot to divide it in half. Okay, sorry about that. Now,
That's okay.
too many P's and too many 2's.
I know.
All right, 17. What is the decision for this test? I have reject the null.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, so for 18, which of the following best summarizes the conclusion of this test? I put the last one. There's sufficient evidence to conclude that the water quality in the area has decreased.
That's what I put.
Correct.
Okay. I was just a little confused on that, but I know that all this double negative thing in there is probably not the answer to. Okay, so sometimes it confuses me. Oh, that was 18. That was the end.
Good job.
100%.
Good. Excellent.
Okay. After that, maybe I have a concern on the homework assignment if I need help on that.
Okay.
Or should it be after the broadcast?
Either way, Anne, do you want me to save or should I stop broadcasting now and then so that we can have our other discussion too? I don't think we need to have them all together. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'll stop broadcasting.